anything inside.
I promise I'm not naked.
Alright, I'm going to quickly invite everyone because we are very sorry we're 30 minutes late.
We are.
We are. Everything has been put back. Our fault entirely.
We apologise profusely.
We
Hello,
apologise
Michelle. How are
profusely,
you?
yes.
Can you hear us? Can you please let us know that you can hear us?
That's right, I'm just checking that. No.
Because, and like I said earlier, I'm not naked. I do have clothes on.
I'm just checking that. No.
Oh, cool.
It's working.
It's working. Okay, what questions do you have for us?
So there were a couple already
There were
in
a couple
the
yesterday,
thing.
yes.
So first one was around water.
Yeah, so how do you get your kids to drink more water?
Yeah. Kids are really different with water and they don't need quite as much as adults do.
Yeah, so it's not, it's only a little bit of water they actually require. And you think, oh, it's not enough, but they don't need quite as much.
They don't need, like, it's not like the ratio or the formula that we use for an adult holds really true for kids. The main thing is that you check their pee periodically, which, you know, like with younger kids ain't so hard because you can just say, you can wander in there and have a look.
Yeah.
I've never tried it with a teenager. You probably shouldn't ask to see it on the way out, but obviously you can ask them what their pee looks like. Their pee should be mostly clear. It could have a lightish tinge of yellow, but it should be mostly clear and not dark. Shouldn't smell, it shouldn't be uncomfortable coming out. Like sometimes when you get very dehydrated, it's uncomfortable. So yeah, just go have a look if your kids are younger and see what it looks like. If your kids are slightly older and you trust that they're a good judge, then ask them if their pee's dark. We let Charlize have things like, if we feel like she's dehydrated, we'll let her have things like lemon and honey water. So we'll put a little bit of honey into some warmish water and then squeeze, like just a rough squeeze of lemon. You could also use apple cider vinegar into the water, and you can put a tiny little sprinkle of sea salt in there if your kids don't salt their food, and then drink that down. I've never met a kid that will say no to lemon honey water.
Yeah, and we also do the orange water as well. So the orange, like fresh squeezed orange juice, just over one of those lemon squeezy things. What are they called?
I think they're called lemon squeezy things.
Okay, cool.
They're like, so you know the juice, the citrus juicer things that it's shaped like an upside down
Booby.
That's not what I was going to say,
No.
but yeah, whatever it is, you squeeze it over and you crush. We just use a half of a whole orange.
Yeah.
And squeeze that and then mix that with water, and most kids will drink that down as well. So it's kind of like sometimes a little bit of a gateway thing. Now, the other thing I will say is that Charlize will just sometimes go, Daddy, I need water. And then she'll just guts it down. She doesn't really like drinking water during the day. She tends to want to guts it at night.
The other thing you can do is to put like fruits and veggies and stuff in your, maybe not veggies for kids, but like strawberries and cucumber and mint and watermelon or put like whole pieces of fruit into the water and it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
So, and then it ends up like with a slightly flavoured water taste, and it is brilliant. It
has to sit for an hour though before you get that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it has to actually be in there for a bit. But that they would be our top like 3. Get kids to drink
lemon
water.
Honey water always works. Kids love honey. Make sure you use a raw honey. Try not to heat it up too much. But yeah, lemon honey water. Poo.
Winner.
Yeah. Next question.
Oh, Amy had a question about butter, which I've answered her via Messenger, but we thought that's probably a good one to answer on here. So,
so Michelle said, sorry, just before you go on, she said, my kids always look, I couldn't see, what's going on? Oh, it's my phone. My kids always look for water, but just before bed. I think they're a bit dehydrated. They don't look for it during the day so much.
Charlize does the same.
Charlize does the same thing. We haven't found an obvious solution. Two things, right? 2 things that do help.
So I
Can hear you
look naked. I know, right?
One,
I've got
kids,
a jumpsuit on.
Kids are more likely to drink out of a drink bottle than they are a cup. We found Charlize, if she has one of those drink bottles that has the lid where she can just tip it up and she'll kind of just play with it and sip it, and some of it will go down her mouth, some of it will go on the floor. So that's a good way for during the day. And having it, they won't come to you and say, give me a drink of water. And if you present them with a glass, oftentimes they won't have it. But if you have the bottle there, and like Stacey said, if you've got some sliced up, probably the nicest combination, if you slice up apple and put a splash of lemon in there as well, apple and lemon together, I think Charlize will often eat the apple wedges with the lemon on them. So, you alright?
Yeah, I just want to get rid of my boob.
So, that's one way. The other thing is, if you have a soda stream, I find Charlize will drink sparkling water.
Yeah.
So, like generally, I don't really, I feel like I'm sitting on an angle. I don't really know. Someone once asked in one of our groups, is soda water okay? Is it hydrating? And the answer is I don't know. It is water. But what I will say is if you ever have soda water and then you open it and let it sit in the fridge until it goes flat and then smell it or drink it, it tastes kind of weird, right?
It tastes terrible.
It tastes terrible. So I personally feel like there's a disadvantage to having soda from the shop. But if you have a soda stream where you've got, filtered water and then you pump some carbon dioxide into it, I think that's probably a good happy medium. Yeah. So sparkling water or a drink bottle, I think they're two extra really good ways to keep it going during the day.
Yeah. Kids home.
Kids
Butter.
home.
Butter. So Amy asked, is it okay, or why is it okay that we give the kids butter when it's when it's technically dairy? So it comes down to the processing of it, and butter contains less lactose, which is what. No, he's asleep, babe. No, he's asleep.
So butter takes out when you churn butter or turn it into butter, it removes the lactose. Butter is basically like 99% fat. It takes all the sugar out. It doesn't mean that it's like completely guaranteed to work for everyone. Some people say hi.
Hi.
Some people can. Some people can eat butter. Some people still can't. There's still proteins in the butter that can affect you. So it comes back to it being more digestible for most people. But there's still some people that can't have butter. And it can even change over the years. But we generally find that butters.
Mahika can't have butter because she's vegan.
Right, Mahika can't have butter because she's vegan.
At my school.
At Charlie's school.
Snap that baby.
Snap that baby.
Lick your ribs. On you, baby. As on you, baby. I don't care.
We didn't teach her this.
Switch that on you.
Alright, let me talk because we're going to go to the beach after this.
Switch that on you.
Go and get your bathers on.
You got your bathers on, so we're going to go to the beach. Not that way.
Shook her head.
Not that way. That's our very shy child.
Yeah.
So, yeah, butter is, Charlie.
Tofu. Bye-bye.
Go.
Butter is generally more digestible for most people. There's like a bit of a hierarchy. Milk is generally people have most challenges with. More people tend to be able to tolerate tolerate cream. More people can tolerate yogurt. More people can tolerate kefir. And more people can tolerate butter. It's kind of like a hierarchy up through. So I can't do...
People can tolerate milk.
I can't do milk, cream, yogurt, kefir, but I can have butter. It's just different for everyone.
Yeah.
Any other... What's the go with the pH change with the carbon dioxide? Doesn't that affect their teeth? I have no idea whether that affects their teeth or not. It possibly could, depending on the amount they're having. Yeah, I think there is a possibility. That's why I said I personally don't think that soda water and water with carbon dioxide is good, because when you let it sit, it smells terrible, it tastes terrible. Most people kind of just intuitively know that. So I feel like there's a disconnect there. But as a glass during the day of SodaStream, whatever, I think it's better than.
I guess it's better than other options.
Yeah, it's
as
better
well.
It's better than so. A lot of people give their kids packaged juice. Like if your juice can last on the shelf, it's basically cordial, right? It may as well be concentrated cordial. Packaged juices that sit on the shelf rather than having to be refrigerated, not really good. And even the stuff that sits in the fridge at the supermarket, once juice is juiced, you get about 1 to 3 days. 3 days if it's cold processed, you get like a day if it's not. So you really need to, fresh juices are the real thing. If you're having packaged stuff, it's basically cordial, or it may as well be any kind of sugar.
We had those in Thailand, packaged juice.
We did while we were in Thailand.
And there's this awesome playground that I love.
Super Need Chemist is going to look it up. I'll let you know what I find. Super nerd chemist. Super nerd chemist, right?
Super nerd chemist is going to look it up.
Oh, I'll be interested to
thank you,
find. Yeah, that's
Michelle.
right. I'll be interested to see what you find.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So
Any other
then,
questions
yeah, there
for
were.
today?
I think,
that tickles.
where is it?
Amy also mentioned that she's using the technique of allowing her kids to get hungry. She's finding the kids are like gorging themselves with food. So it will take a little while to balance out and for them to regulate. So they're probably going a little bit too far past their hunger point, and that's why they'll find that they're getting hungry and they're like eating lots of food. But as they get used to this, they'll start recognizing the signs of hunger, which they probably don't yet recognize because you've had those structured meal times. And as time goes on, they will get used to this, and you can help them and facilitate them through this process by, maybe asking at certain times, are you hungry? Is there something that you would like to eat? And if they say yes, then that's cool. If they say no, that's cool too, and just let them go, right? So maybe...
And if they're hungry, they let them choose what they want. If they're not hungry, just let them choose.
That's it, babe. So help them through this process by asking them some questions, especially if you think, oh, it's been a few hours. They probably are getting hungry, but they're not recognizing it. You can go, are you hungry, darling? Would you like some fruit and yogurt? Would you like, some eggs? And then they'll be able to go, oh, yeah, I am hungry, or no, I'm not. And they'll get better and better at recognizing their own body's signals. So just help them through that process.
Yeah. Cool. Water done. Recipes or ideas that can replace the Tiny Teddy's cheese and crackers, etc. as snacks. Need things that can travel. So obviously fruit is the really obvious one. Most fruits travel pretty well. There's also the option of getting we take a cooler bag a lot of places. Put a little, like a frozen ice block that's in the freezer, chuck the cooler bag in, and we'll take stuff around. Depending on
veggies and dips and stuff like that are a good one.
Dips.
Rice, can replace anything with gluten, right? So, Tiny Teddies or crackers or anything like that.
Tiny Teddies are not good for you.
No, go and look for rice, gluten-free alternatives. Like, that's your first stop, right? Always look for rice, gluten-free. And then it's obvious, like, if you're traveling far and you can't do the ice block thing, or, fruit's not an option, then that's a good option. It's not great because it's still a processed food, but it's still a better option than having dairy or glutinous or preservative or coloured food.
We still do that.
Yeah.
We still use rice crackers, and we still have we use or definitely food colouring. We have rice crackers, and we definitely use like gluten-free crackers. So it's not a huge amount, but we'll still smother. Hang on one sec, Dal. We'll still smother rice crackers with butter or peanut butter or something like that, and wrap those up and take those with us. So it's not that we don't ever use those things. We just as much as we can, we'll take fruits.
Yeah.
But we still use it.
So we're going to do a walk through the supermarket, and we're going to video like the different options that you have from the supermarket. So we'll show some of the options that you can try and find within your own supermarkets, and these snacks or travel friendly bits and pieces we will show in that video. That was him. So we'll have more and more options for you coming, and you'll be able to, I guess, mentally see what we're talking about through the video, and then you can implement that for yourself as well. Any more questions?
I just read this from Amy. She said, talking about the barbecue, she said, actually both kids seem to be a lot calmer, particularly my 4-year-old, who's not getting the hyper moments as much, and when we do get them, it's easy to help them settle. At the barbecue, no behavioural problems. It was a great day. Cool.
Yay! That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
Michelle said my kids picked fruit for lunch over Nutella pancakes. Proud mummy moment.
That's
really cool.
Awesome. Yeah,
they know.
Awesome.
They start coming back. Ideas around nutritious whole food recipes that I could pre-make for dinner and freeze reheat when I have a horrid day at work, so I don't have to get takeaway. I really feel like this is one of those ones where, so for example, if I cooked, hey Charlie darling, can you please close the door? If I cooked a roast, like a lamb roast, for example, right? We don't eat much lamb these days, but if I cooked a lamb roast and sliced it up, okay, I'll take you back. This is what we used to do at Christmas because we'd overcook so much. My grandmother used to put like dinner plates and cover it in Christmas dinner that was left over, and then put Glad rope on it and put it in the freezer. And then for like, she'd go, if you're hungry, go get a plate. Put the Glad rope in the bin, wash the plate, we're all good. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. So I would eat a roast dinner. I would eat lasagna. That's not a lie, I don't like lasagna, but I would eat like just about anything in the freezer. Stacey, on the other hand, she'd go, I'm eating that. You don't do leftovers in the freezer.
Well, you don't really do leftovers in the freezer.
We don't anymore, no. But so it's pretty much, I think it's any meal that you're currently eating. Yeah, stews keep, curries keep.
Soaps, curries.
Soups, yeah. Stews, soups, curries, anything that's kind of braised, where you cook it gently in its liquid or in like coconut cream or anything, they tend to keep okay in the freezer. And then Stacey's getting probably our go-to at the moment.
Yeah, Michelle, these are really good. These ones are lentil burgers, but they do a brown rice veggie burger and a cauliflower and veggie burger one. So the brand is Scindian, and you can get these from like Coles and Woolworths, and they're basically four veggie patties, and they are delicious.
They're great.
There's different types, obviously, like I've just said, but these, right, are our go-to, I can't be stuffed cooking meal, and they're delicious. Like Charlize loves them.
They're less than $2 each.
And they're less than $2 each, and like you literally just put them in the frying pan, one side, the other side, done, and you're eating, right? So it's super simple, and that's definitely a go-to.
We tend to, so it's about 5 minutes aside on a medium heat. We tend to either put just like a swirl of tomato sauce, or we'll stack it with other things. So it might be like you could put like a hamburger kind of thing. You could do the patty and some bacon and an egg and some vegetables, or sometimes we'll smash avocado and put that on it. It really just depends, but they stack up really well, and it takes very little time to turn them out. So, but I mean, like, don't be afraid to smash an avocado, chop up carrot sticks and any other vegetables, and have a really simple, like just a simple vegetable based meal for dinner. Like sometimes that's what it takes, is to put out a bunch of stuff. We'll throw everything that you've got in the steamer, steam it up, cover it in butter, and eat it. I know it doesn't sound as appetizing, but it's a lifesaver, and it does make a big difference on those times where you're like, oh, I don't want to do anything more than, it's going to take more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do anything at all except reheat, then I would say, all those braised things, they tend to reheat quite well. Soups, stews, casseroles. Okay, stop. Shush. We're talking. Soups, stews, casseroles, anything braised. But if your kids will eat a roast dinner, I say go for it. Like, you just got to chop it up and pre-plate it so that it comes out and you can heat it up instantly.
Yeah.
You have to trial and error that one.
Yeah, I think that's the key. Any other questions? Amy here.
What else? Kids letting rip.
Oh, she's saying, kids are going crazy. She feels like they're coming off sugar. They're super hyper and grumpy all day. So your kids will go through a detox process if you're changing their food, because you do when you change your diet. And so you have to, I guess, allow your kids to go through that same process. They will get through it a lot faster and probably better than what we do. But to definitely be aware that, they'll be having a bodily detox as you reduce their processed foods, for sure. Yeah. I don't know if there's any other questions. Have you got any more questions for us, Michelle? I'm just looking back through.
Yeah.
Looks like everyone's really like
Go on.
nailing their
It's gonna be really good.
What are you doing?
It's gonna be really good. Like this.
Oh, what do you think of coconut sugar as one?
Dad, I'm gonna put in maple syrup, mango.
I don't think we have any maple syrup.
Sweet.
Coconut sugar, any kind of refined sugar is still a sugar. If you were gonna have like a treat or something like that, then yeah, coconut sugar for sure. It's still like, this isn't like when people go fruit sugar is still sugar. Fruit sugar is bound up in the fiber and the rest of the fruit. Coconut sugar has been refined out. It's still a processed sugar. It's darker, and generally darker things are better than whiter. I don't know how that sounded as I said it, but generally darker, sugars and stuff like that are going to be better for you, but it's still sugar. I'd be using it sparingly rather than lots of it.
Yeah. And this compote that Amy was putting on top, so it's got 65% fruit, so it's cherries and bits and pieces, water, sugar, thickener from maize, food, acid, vanilla extract, and natural flavour. So, like, good for convenience and stuff like that. It's still got sugar in it. So how much sugar has it got in it? 7.3 grams or 15 grams per 100.
That's not high.
It's not high.
That's not
it's
high.
not so bad. But I mean, Simone's suggestion was to throw berries and apples and stuff into a pot and just stew that down, and that can just sit in your fridge as well. And all these things, like, some people are like, oh, but it takes time. But you literally throw it in the pot, put the lid on, and let it stew down, and it's done, right? It's really, really simple, really easy, and you'll have it there. It'll taste way better than anything that you can buy as well.
Well, this will taste way more better.
I think that's all for the questions. Yeah, at the moment. But keep them coming. And make sure you let us know, like, what else you feel you need. Michelle said she's all good, thanks. Enjoy the beach. We will.
Daddy?
But yeah,
I used the tiny mini one.
we'll have a lot more stuff coming for you in PDF format, so you can quick reference all this stuff. And I'm sure we'll be back live soon.
When are you with me for?
Daddy, my tooth is
I'll
not
just get your
sharper
attention
than
so you
that.
can say bye.
Oh, see ya.
See you guys.
Bye.
My tooth
Bye.
is- Dad,